Hello, hello, hello. Miss Messy Hair is back. Anyway, today I am doing a video about assumptions. In the last few weeks or so, I have seen several YouTubers use their question elements in their story feature on Instagram in a different way to connect and communicate with their followers. Instead of asking our followers, hey, ask me a question and I will answer it in a ask video on YouTube, we ask our followers, what do you assume about us? People have been asking all sorts of questions, I suppose, but this question in particular is quite provocative and eye-opening. It gets people talking or thinking. Yes, the primary subject is the person who asks it, but I mean, that's the point, I suppose. Anyway, so I thought to myself that this would be a good way to directly ask people what they think. I don't know how many responses I've had, but I've had several hundred at least. And going through, there's been so many kind responses. And yeah, you can say to yourself, it's your followers, of course they're going to be nice. But even things that aren't necessarily good or bad or kind or hurtful, there's been lots of things that I didn't assume about myself that people think. There's been things that people have got right, things that people have got wrong. Several people say that they think I'm shy, and that makes me happy because I am shy. So many people think I'm this super confident person, and I'm breaking apart in here. I'm a shy, introverted mess, and this sort of persona, my channel, my social media, sends all the wrong signals. If I'm like this online, then surely I'm like this offline, and no, not necessarily. I'm entirely different in my own personal space. As I've gone through this, I've tried not to go straight for the compliments. That is part of my personality as well, that I can't process compliments. Whether they're truth or not, that's not the point. My brain finds it hard to accept them. That's not to say I don't care about the compliments, because I do, and I'm grateful for them. I just didn't want a video of me going, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to discuss and talk about things that don't necessarily click with my brain. Okay, enough introductions, let's finally kick this off. You're too sensitive. Shut up. No, you're right. There were several people that said things along the lines of, I'm sensitive. And yes, I am a very sensitive person. I sort of feel and think on a level that lots of people don't process at. The way I experience life seems to be far more delicate in a way. I do analyse and overanalyse situations, and sometimes things that mean something to you don't register in the same way to me. It's a good thing being sensitive, sometimes not so much. I worry a lot about everything. Yes, I do. Honestly, I don't assume anything. Thank you. I'm a vegetarian? No. I wish I could be, but I'm not. I have been a vegetarian and I have also been a pescatarian, but right now I'm neither. You're a picky eater? In a way, yes. I have struggled with food since I was a child. It's nothing new. When I'm stressed or unhappy, I don't eat. I forget to eat, or I choose not to eat. There's certain textures that I don't like. Food often makes me feel sick. I'm always worried about getting ill. I do have a fear of food poisoning. I worry about putting up Christian videos due to the backlash. No, backlash doesn't hold me back. I'm more than happy to talk about it. I don't care if people don't agree. I worry that in the future I'll look back and I'll be angry at myself for not understanding the gospel as well as I do in the future. Sometimes I can't say what I want to say because it involves other people. For example, I can't talk about sex before marriage without very obviously talking about my boyfriend. When the subjects of your content involve others, it gets tricky. This person's put that I'm brave for opening up this type of question and that I'm really strong. Thank you. Brave, maybe, but also stupid. I don't like a lot of things. From my perspective, I think I'm just like everybody else. There's things that we like and don't like in life. I'm just more vocal about the things I don't like, I suppose. I have no interest in politics. When I was about 21, I started working with several organisations to try and help educate people about politics. I made videos about the different parties. I went on Leaders Live. There was a couple of episodes where we met with the different party leaders.
One after the other, and then we'll ask Ed to answer. So start with you, Becky.
Hello, I have so many people writing right now about mental health. Do you plan to increase the budget for mental health? Because right now people don't feel that there is enough support and understanding and education people.
Hold on, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Right now, at 26, I don't really feel I understand politics at all. Especially with Brexit. I don't think anyone really knows what's going on. Politics makes me angry. It makes me feel unintelligent and stupid. It goes for lots of topics in the world right now. I don't feel I'm qualified to speak about certain things. How can I educate other people when I don't understand myself? Now we're on to politics, let's change topic. I'm the motherly figure among my friends. No, I'm the quiet one. Not a child figure, but I'm definitely not the motherly one. I let other people walk all over me, yes. It goes right the way back to when I was a child. I let the Jenny gang walk all over me. You assume I'm a virgin? It's odd to me because there is an obsession with my sex life. I don't know why. Over the last decade, people have continuously speculated when I've lost my virginity and with who. People want to know the ins and outs. Oh no, what a pun. People want to know everything. Everything. I find that such an invasion of privacy. From a Christian perspective, of course, it's a topic that comes up and it's one that I've struggled to talk about. I can't answer, but either way, it shouldn't matter. Having sex doesn't make me a better person, or not having sex makes me a bad person. Online ridicule hurts me more than I let you guys know. Yes. I've been harassed, stalked and threatened on and off over the last decade, but the last 5 years I have been subjected to a very particular form of harassment. It's a group of people that hate me so intensively that they literally don't have any other lives outside their hatred for me. Sometimes it's easy to ignore, other times it destroys my life. It's hard to sort of summarise. It makes your life feel like it's not worth living. And also that is how everybody feels towards you. It sounds silly being gaslighted by people you don't even know, but the extent of what myself and others deal with, it does get to that level. People online don't always appreciate the damage they do to other people because they don't see it. Or they're not aware that we know what they're doing to us. There are certain things that hurt me more than others. There's things that just go straight over my head. I don't care. Other things, though, are far more painful or harder to process. When my mental and physical health are obliterated, it's soul-crushing. More importantly, when people tear apart the relationships I have with other people. When people tear my current self apart for things I did as a tween or teenager, like 15 years ago, that gets on my nerves because I'm an entirely different person. I've had 15 years of progression since what they're talking about, and it's like nothing's happened. All of these videos were created a decade ago. This person has been gone 10 years. Yes, she's part of who I am, she's part of my past, but she is not my present. That person has been dead 10 years. That person doesn't exist anymore. I'm happy I'm not that person. And this is who I am right now. I'd like to say at this point in time that I am not a perfect person. I have never been a perfect person. I will never be a perfect person. And there's things that I have done in my life that I regret or don't like. Things I'm sorry for. That in itself is fairly vague, I suppose, but it's not that I am a fantastic person. I'd like to think that I keep bettering myself and moving forwards. Right, let's move on. They've complimented but also said they think I'm ungrateful. I did actually make a video about being grateful and a few other topics this time last year. I don't think it went down very well. People were surprised I'd made it. But for other people, it sort of answered the fact that I don't talk about certain things online. It's worth a watch. It's not that I'm not grateful, it's that so many things in my life I don't have to say thank you to the internet for, because the people that I am grateful to or for are God or my family. I don't need to sit here and make a video and go, hey mum, I'm grateful for everything you do for me, because I see her every month. I can tell her then. I find it frustrating sometimes when people assume that they know your brain and your thoughts when they don't. It's difficult because unless you address your privileges with every single thing you do in your life, people don't know that you're aware of them or that you're grateful. Now this one actually made me really angry when I read it. You don't actually want to hear the truth from people unless it agrees with your perception of things. The wording here is particularly important because you've used the word truth in that context, as if what you perceive of me is the truth. It's not that I don't want to hear the truth, and it's not that I want to block out anybody who doesn't agree with anything that I believe or think, but it's the ideal that sometimes people's perceptions of things within my own life are not the truth, yet they believe they're the truth and continuously talk about it like they're the truth. At the end of the day, what you perceive of me is your perception. It's not necessarily the truth or the experience that I have within my own life, because my life could be completely different to what you think it is. This person assumes that I have a small group of close friends that I cherish a lot but don't post about. Yes. I have less than a handful of close friends, none of whom I really talk about online at all. I've done so many things with them this year and haven't shared. I haven't even said, hey, I've done this evening. They do have social media, but they don't use it in the same way that I do. And I don't really feel they want to be on my social media because of the amount of people that watch. In regards to friends, I value quality over quantity. Yes. I don't find friendships easy. I don't enjoy talking with people. And I don't like having to maintain, 30 odd relationships simultaneously. It's impossible. I think it's better to have, 4 or so close people in our lives that you keep forever. This person's put, I assume you don't laugh very much. You are correct. I'm not a laugher. I can't even do it on cue. I have a weird sort of response sometimes, and I hate it.
Before.
Let's just go. I watch it back and I'm like, I just don't feel happiness very often. I don't have that natural response to laugh. When I laugh, it's an alien experience that I treasure. There's less than a handful of clips that I'm aware of inside my brain where I'm laughing. I don't even think I'll be able to find a clip to insert here.
Like, you've just made a mess. Oh, that's the most pathetic throw ever.
I don't process comedy very well. I don't find things funny. I don't believe I'm a funny person. I don't have a good sense of humour. I do wish I could laugh more though. This person's basically written that they believe I have my life figured out. I have life made. Wow. No, if anything, my life's come to a bit of a halt and everything's going wrong. I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing someone thinks that I'm all together, but nope, that's not the truth. Even after all these years, I still get a thrill when I click upload. Yes. You assume that I don't like to hike? No. It depends. I mean, when I'm in pain, obviously walking and hiking is not the best thing for me. Hiking for Duke of Edinburgh was not fun though. That was bad. This is so much fun. Rain, rain, glorious rain. I'm gonna shut up now. This person thinks I cut up my spaghetti before I eat it. No. My dad does. When my dad does spaghetti bolognese, he cuts up the spaghetti and we all go nanas. I am a twirler and stirrer. I love long spaghetti. Don't cut spaghetti! I can hold a very deep conversation. I can. Sometimes I can go too deep. I can go the other end of the spectrum. I can sort of leave people feeling down and depressed because of the extent that I've gone to. I don't realise how many people I inspire. There were several like this, actually, and it's true. With the internet, it's easy to forget how many people you speak to or reach or help. When somebody's literally in pain in front of you and you support them that way, you know there and then that you've helped somebody. But online, it's not necessarily the same. Yeah. You're always cold. Yes. Well, in the winter I am. I'm so cold. The heating here is exceptionally expensive. I can't put it on. The first month I was here, I spent nearly £200 on electricity bills. After that, I sort of turned them off and very rarely put them on. Money just melts away here. Though I'm a very private person. I think I've become more private in the last 2 years or so. There's so much I don't share that my younger self would have shared. I think I still come across as though I share everything, and I don't. And sometimes I'm aware that I can be quite vague, but I honestly can't share any more than the vagueness that I'm able to put out. Things like mental health, I don't talk about nearly as deeply as I used to. I think in order to progress forwards with my life, I have to be more private. Unless I do social media full time and never take on board any sort of other employment, then I kind of have to be. I'm very good at faking confidence. Yes, I am. I think I am. I'm not confident at all, and no one knows the extent of how bad things are. Someone here thought that this was like a trap for my followers. This was not a test, and I haven't blocked anyone as a result of what they've said. Whilst we're on the topic of blocking, I do block people. I've become better at blocking people when they first do something wrong rather than letting them hurt me over and over and then blocking them. If you're hurtful, harmful, only there to continuously criticise, you're gone. I have enough bad things in my life as it is. I don't need more negativity or hurtfulness online. The block button has been a lifesaver, literally. That's another topic, but I do block. I will admit that I block. It's hard for me to step outside of my comfort zone, yes. Even with things that I really want to do, I can't do them. It's not just a case of feeling nervous. My whole body can shut down and I can be physically ill. Or my brain goes to such bad places that it just can't even process the situation I'm in. There's so many examples where my physical reaction with anxiety has made it absolutely impossible for me to do anything. You assume that I'd get on well with your cat? Yes. If it's a cat, I'm more than happy. Let me at her. Him. Her. This person thinks that I'm a good listener. I don't know. That's quite vague, I suppose, but in general, conversations with other people, I don't always understand what people say, what they mean, what the context is. Sometimes I can't even respond to conversations there and then. It can take me 20 minutes a day to sort of formulate my own response. So in the moment, I'm not a good listener. If you need somebody to cry on, I'm not the best person. I think a lot, and I probably have unusual views of the world. I do realise that the way I think is not on par with the majority of the people around me. It's become clearer as I've gotten older. Is it the disorders I've been diagnosed with? Is it my brain? I don't feel like I fit in with a lot of people in the way I think. I process things, as I said, on a very deep level. This person says I took all my savings to buy the flat. Yes and no. I put everything I had into buying this flat, but I did have help. It's something I won't hide. I had help. And I'm grateful for that help, but sort of focusing on that assumption, I did put so much into this. It's sort of like checks and balances. I have a home, but I now don't have my savings because the savings are within the home. I don't have any spare money. I'm going from month to month. I'm in that weird period where you're sort of building savings again after having bought a property. And my future self will be very happy I've done this. So that sort of brings me to the end of this. I mean, I would love to talk with you guys further in the comment section downstairs below. This might have generated more questions as opposed to answering them. This has been so insightful doing this. I feel like I have got to talk to you guys on a level I haven't done so before. It's sort of like talking with people at Summer in the City, on the other side of my craft table or at the meet and greets. It's that sort of feeling. It's also a good reminder that the world outside can formulate opinions or beliefs about you when they haven't even met you. I guess it's easy to forget that when we don't share every aspect of our lives, people will automatically fill in the gaps. It's not that we have to create a persona online that we're happy with, but as we're sharing, we need to be aware that people can only judge on what we share. Thank you to everybody who submitted something that day. I think 98% of you were respectful. Going forwards, I will take a lot of this on board. It's given me food for thought. Right, I'm now going to go. As you can tell, I have no voice. I have been vlogging an hour and a half straight. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.